G'day guys. Today we're going to have a look at a way that I find the best way to shut Airborne's meta strategy down. It's not the best game that I've played using this strat, and in fact I actually lose this game. But the special thing about this game is the fact that my rank sits around 500 to 700, depends on the day. And this game I am playing the player that is ranked number 8 as the US Forces, who plays the Airborne meta strategy to a T. And the fact that I was able to hold my own for so long, I think really shows how good this strat can be. So we start off with obviously 2 bikes, and we're going to go and build 4 pyos. And the first thing we are going to do is send the first bike off to cap their fuel and bring the second bike up to support. Now he smokes our bike thinking he's safe, but I brought my pyos up into hard cover, and he's rushed into the smoke, which is obviously, that's the meta play of very rush into the smoke and stop you capping. This is where I bring the second bike back and my second unit of pyos up to help support. I'm going to position the second bike on the flank of the ones in green cover there. They retreat, obviously. They're done for. We've utilised the bikes capping at the same time we've been pushing, and our third unit is now pushing on our own flank. So we pretty much forfeited our own flank for the time being, but as soon as the bikes are free, we're going to pretty much race across the other side of the map and apply pressure on the Pathfinders here again. So yep, they smoke up again to try and obviously block, but bikes, whatever, we just race straight through it. Put the pressure on the pyos again. We're going to start decapping our own cutoff, and while we wait for our pyos to reinforce and get built, and he's forced off. So we're going to go straight for his fuel. Sorry, we're going to go straight for his fuel with this bike after it's decapped. Any minute now. There you go. So it's decapped, and I just wanted to get straight to his fuel to cut it off to stop his fuel income. Obviously our pyos get caught out there planting mine and absolutely cop it. I just instantly retreat them. There's no point in keeping them there. It's got the added benefit, I don't think they realise or not if I'd finished planting the mines. We're going to push up and try and actually decap and cap our own side of the map again. The fuel is still connected. His fuel is still connected through that centre muni point. And we're going to go into green cover there and hit the Pathfinders there. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite quick enough on that grenade. We got to retreat them pretty much straight away. Meanwhile, we're pushing up back on our side now, and capping all our own stuff. Yeah, we're going to use our 2 units of pyos there. We're going to push them up now and push them onto the units of capping Pathfinders on the Muni. We're going to use our bike to pressure their fuel like they're pressuring ours, and we're going to push our all our pyos pretty much onto our own fuel. Now, it's 5 minutes and they still don't have an AA half track out. At this stage, I thought they either weren't going to go for it or it just wasn't happening. I bring the other bike up now to help support this bike, but I didn't actually realise we'd had such a big effect on his fuel that the AA truck had come out so late. That's huge. An AA truck you'll see it shortly, at 5.5 minutes is pretty bloody late. Unfortunately, he catches both my bikes here, and that's actually a really big loss for me. That's one of my first mistakes, losing both bikes in the space of half a second. We're pushing back on his side, obviously. Now I knew that AA was obviously going to push straight up. In hindsight here, I should have been building an 8 rad. I don't know why I wasn't. I was obviously so engaged in this fight up here. But I did decide to bring in Jaeger AT anyway, so that wasn't a bad call in itself. And shortly after, I'm able to bring an 8 rad out anyway. Obviously, getting away from that AA half track because that just decimates any infantry. There you go, 8 rad is coming out. The Jaeger AT coming up to zone the M16 off. You know, vehicle maneuverability. It was a bit slow in following him, but I decided not to go for it because he does actually wreck the half track. But at this stage, it's still sort of half control. And again, like, I want to reiterate that this guy is rank number 8, and I am rank number, like, I think I was maybe 650 at this stage. So yeah, it's just the early strat is pretty much what I wanted to show you. That that we did so well early strat in holding their fuel. Look, we're even going for his fuel cut off again. Unfortunately, I didn't quite move them in quick enough. I didn't move the 8 rad up quick enough either. I might have been able to catch him out. It was, again, a bit slow, but this is the difference between a rank, you know, 600 player to a rank top 10. I didn't know where the half track had gone, so I figured I'll just turn him and zone him onto the Pathfinders there, where you can zone them off, and at least I'll keep that muni. Now this is where the loss of the 2 bikes really starts to come back and bite me in the ass. I don't have the ability to race around and essentially try and keep up without capping him or zoning him off caps anymore. And this is where the game sort of starts to turn for me. Unfortunately, I hear the grenade and maneuver, but unfortunately it wipes the whole squad, which is pretty rough for me. We'll bring the 8 rad over there, push those guys back. Obviously there's Zooks coming up there, I can see them coming in. But what I didn't account for is that I was near the cap, so they could actually see me in the fog of water. I can't push up on the AA half track there because of the Zooks, so I've got to retreat my pyos. Unfortunately, they don't make it back either. They get wiped there. Yeah, so it all starts to sort of go downhill from here. But again, you know, I was still reflecting on the game, pretty happy with how it was going so far. Going to bring the second 8 rad out, that was my plan, and then I'll be able to obviously just rush the M16 regardless of the Zooks, or I could even just take the Zooks out. Obviously 8 rad there, hitting the Zooks for a bit, and ultimately forcing it to have to pull back slightly. I want to send the energies over to at least stop them capping my side of the map. The second 8 rad comes out, so we're gonna send that one straight up, and because those paratrooper Zooks hit their mine, so they're pretty weak. Fortunately, my focus was over here, so I lose a squad of pyos. But at the same time, we did wipe a squad of Zooks, and now this is where quite an interesting thing happens. I don't know if you're aware of the paradrop reinforcement, where I think it's like 80 muni or something ridiculously cheap, and it just reinforces everything in the area. This 8 rad I think racks up, I think it's 5 squad wipes worth of Pathfinders. Obviously gains a shit ton of vet, not to mention my other 8 rad that I'm not even looking at in this replay also did a fair bit of damage to the unit of Pathfinders over there. But yeah, the problem is with this, it literally hasn't cost him a single manpower point. Even if it costs, say, half the reinforcement cost it, like 12 or 13 or something, this could have potentially been game changing. You know, while this is happening, I've got a martyr coming out. I've got my 2 8-rads out. Like I'm not in a bad position of the game. My Jaeger's picked up a Shrek as well. A Zook as well as a Shrek. So they're bloody going to be potent as compared to normal against any AT. So yeah, I was really starting to feel confident and thought that I might be able to come back from this. Yeah, we're just obviously running out of VP points. That's our only worry. Here I push up on what I thought was unsupported Zooks Paras, because they don't have Zooks yet. Unfortunately, there is an AT gun coming up there that hits that rear 8-rad. Now what I should have done is push that front 8-rad up and just tried to go around the AT gun while leaving the other one there to worry about the Zooks. Again here, the 88, the M16 there is zoning off all my infantry. The martyr's on its way over. Obviously I can't keep my pyres there long enough, unfortunately. I've got to retreat them, so I lose vision. I do get one shot in, but unfortunately it doesn't get its second shot in. Now unfortunately also I've lost quite a few infantry. Gonna bring my 8-rads back to start repping them up. But yeah, I just don't have the infantry. I obviously lost the bikes, and now I'm losing the capping war. Yeah, his Pathfinders are just going to start out capping me now. While I do have one martyr out, I'm not anywhere near enough fuel to get the second martyr out for if they do bring something like a Sherman across. I thought I'd just take a couple of shots at the Pathfinders just in case I got lucky, which it didn't. I try and bring some assault grens out now. Obviously, there's something coming across here, and it's not the M16. The assault grens are off to try and go cap the other VP. My Jaeger AT up there that are going to try and zone the Pathfinders off, but yeah, there's a Hellcat out now. My 8-rads just get absolutely wrecked. I've got very minimal units, and I call it. So yeah, you can see where and how I went downhill. Obviously, that was just the difference between the skill level of the players, but the actual opening of the DAK versus the Airborne, I think, is a perfect example of how you can really shut them down. And playing this strategy against players around my own ELO, I do actually 100% shut them down and usually have no problem dealing with them anymore. But the patch is due this week, so I'm sure in about a week's time this video will be irrelevant. We'll see how we go after that. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.